Hey, welcome in. Well, here's the headline. Journalist Tim Pool locked out of Twitter for criticizing groomers. And you have to ask the question at this point, why are the, leftist establishment figures trying so hard to normalize something that the vast majority of people find extremely disturbing? But let's take a look at this. Social media platform Twitter suspends journalist, political commentator, and YouTuber Tim Pool for criticizing a picture showing adults showing sexual content to children. Twitter suspended his account because, according to Pool, he stated in the tweet that the adults in the picture were grooming the kids. And of course, we know that Twitter has begun suspending users for using the term groomer after pressure from, who else? The left. And cultural critic James Lindsay was also locked out of his account, and we'll get to that as well. And so Reddit and Twitter have decided that the word groomer just refers to all the letters in the rainbow alphabet. And this is used specifically for people that are trying to groom children by exposing them to and normalizing adult content and ideas. So basically, these leftist institutions are doing what they always do. Number one, they just call you a phobe or an ist or an ism or whatever if you disagree with them. Secondly, they just redefine words. But they never seem to think far enough ahead, because if you take away the word groomer, say, to describe these people, well, that leaves you with another word, and we'll get to that. Here's what Tim Pool tweeted. Twitter just locked me out of my account, LOL. I don't care enough about Twitter for the tweet to stay up, so whatever. F you, Twitter. And then he said, the platform is so worthless, I don't feel that any tweet I put up matters at all, so I don't care to keep it up. However, I do think shitposting matters, and I will keep shitposting. And then he went to war with Twitter. How? He tweeted, Twitter actively protects and supports pedophilia, which apparently they actually do, because he started posting these stories. Twitter lets pedos publicly discuss their attraction to minors, scholar argues. Not a good look for Twitter, is it? And then from the AP, Twitter is not placing sex offender notices on profiles. How about this from the Daily Dot? Twitter accused of letting pedophiles discuss their attraction to... But from Evie magazine, Twitter is a breeding ground for normalization of pedos. And then he posts, ha ha ha, Twitter also told me that my ad runs are canceled. But this story from the Post-Millennial says the journalist's criticism of Twitter and the reported targeting of individuals criticizing groomers comes after the author and mathematician James Lindsay was locked out of his Twitter account on Thursday for criticizing a Media Matters journalist who called out media outlets for being anti-LGBTQ over their criticism of groomers. And again, that's just them redefining the word, because that's all they seem to be able to do. That and throw out a few, you're a phobe and you're an ist and an ism and whatever. But anyway, he said, I agree with timcast. Twitter proactively shelters and enables pedos and people who want to recruit children into sexuality-based cults. The degree of this sheltering raises important questions. It's unconscionable on its own, but is there an agenda? Are people paid? Leveraging sexual relationships? All of the above. So yeah, it begs the question. Why are they doing this? Why is Twitter doing this? At some point, you have to think, maybe these are bad people. Anyway, Tim Pool finished it off with saying, from now on, I just straight up call them pedophiles. Yeah, well, you can't call them groomers anymore, can you? But before we go, we should take a look at why James Lindsay was suspended. And he was suspended because he replied to a tweet by Ari Drennan, LGBTQ program director at Media Matters, by saying, okay groomer. And Media Matters is the outlet that decided to change the definition of groomer to pretend that it applied to every single LGBT person. And why? Well, apparently to protect groomers. And what can you really say? Media Matters is a cesspool, as is Twitter. Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I know some people share my content. It makes a big difference. Thank you for that. I'll see you next time.